talking about the funk. I'm not talking about a smell, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a groove.
Good morning. Time is 5 o'clock. It's cold, it's dark, and it makes getting in the cold shower very, very difficult in these times, but we must do it. I'll take you through a full day of eating today. I've got some capacity work this morning, but I'll take you through a full day. Every morning when I wake up, I've got water by my bedside, so that way I can get hydrated, get in the shower, go downstairs, grab a coffee, and I'm on the computer.
You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve.
Okay, let's get cracking. That's the first time I've weighed myself in a very long time. I say very long time, since Ibiza, which was probably June, so it's been a good few months. And I was shocked, or I am shocked. I thought I'd be a lot lighter than that. I thought I'd be down in the 85s, 86s, but 89.5 kg take. Condition wise, also pretty happy, even though it's not really the goal at the moment, but I am paying close attention to it because I'm gauging my food intake off of one, the mirror. So every couple of days I'll have a little glance in the morning, see how I'm looking, and two, performance and recovery. If I feel like my recovery is dipping a little bit, I'll increase food or have potentially like a high day on the weekend, but I'm not tracking macros and I'm not tracking scale weight or body weight. But for the sake of this video, to give you an insight into the actual calories that I'm having, I will track all of my foods today. Opening up the day with a coffee, black coffee. I only have like a little one, 15 grams of the Guatemalan stuff from Tesco. Just like to have it when I'm working, gets me in the zone for client check-ins. And then I have my greens powder, 1 scoop of the Ghost Greens, and 5 grams of creatine. And that also helps curb my appetite for a good couple of hours, because I wake up at 5, on the computer from 6 till about 9, and then at that point I'll either go and walk the dog, get some expenditure in, or if I'm hungry, I'll just eat some food.
Brothers can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? You got to be funky to get some groove that most brothers can't achieve.
He was in the queue as well. That's a nice, even worse. Fred again. I was trying to get Fred again tickets for December. No luck. Meal number 1, we have 120 grams of the lemon smoked salmon slices, a tongue twister from Tesco, they're new in, on a little bit of rocket and 1 sesame seed bagel with some reduced fat cream cheese. And then we have 3 scrambled eggs. That is my number 1. Macros for that meal: 58 protein, 31 fat, and 43 grams of carbohydrates. That is light enough for me to go into the gym and be in the gym in about 50 minutes to an hour's time. And we'll do exactly that. Pre-workout, just bear in mind that with this particular training session that we're doing today, which is work capacity on a Wednesday, we don't want to be in a position whereby our heart rate is too elevated. We want to stay pretty consistent when it comes down to our heart rate staying in a specific zone. So just be wary when you are taking pre-workout on board not to opt for something too stimmy. So when I've got work capacity or any endurance sessions, I don't want my heart rate going through the roof. So something like Jay Cutler's Prevail will be spot on, as opposed to taking like Naughty Boy. Also be mindful of intra-workout carbohydrates, using some cyclic dextrin in today's drink, but no EAs. We've had breakfast like 15 minutes ago. I don't really need any essential amino acids, so just some carbs for today. This session is being filmed for the How to Functional Fitness. So what you will see now is just a bit of a montage with some music. That was a tough workout. That was a good one, but we are back on meal prep. So on a Sunday, I will prep 3 lunches for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. My workload has increased quite a lot recently due to the project that we're releasing in January, so I can't really afford to be spending too much time in the kitchen. So if I meal prep, particularly my lunches, all I need to do is heat it up. So we've got 250 grams of 5% mince, some jasmine rice in the microwave, bash. Easy. Got in at 10 past, it's now 20 past. Saves me cooking, simple, easy, effective. 58 protein, 20 grams of fat, 88 carb. Be able to wrap this up, be on the computer, back on the computer from 2 till 6, 4-hour work slot. Perfect. If I get a little peckish between then, sometimes I have like a bagel and some peanut butter and banana maybe, but this should fill me up alright until our next meal. Jocko Willink. What do you know about Jocko Willink? When I get up at 5 AM, I flag a little bit around about now. It's 10 to 2, so I have a 10-minute nap. This is how I nap. This is the Willink setup, yeah? You raise your feet above your heart, 10 minutes, bang. Put it on the side so you've got to get up. Not under the covers, over the covers. Eye mask on. 10 minutes. When you wake up from this, it feels like you've had a double espresso. Most people draw for the caffeine at this point. Don't draw for the caffeine. It'll affect sleep quality later on. Get yourself a 10-minute nap in. I used to do it in GNC. When I used to work in GNC on my lunch break, I used to get a half-hour lunch break, eat for 20 minutes, nap for 10. More biohacks with TM Cycles. A bit sus filming in the woods, but I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about being proactive about getting enough sunlight in during these winter and autumn months. We can get away with it during summer because of that sunlight and vitamin D exposure, but particularly as it starts to get darker a lot earlier, to keep that circadian rhythm happy, make sure if you are an office worker, get out on your lunch break. Back when I was with, it's what I used to do when I was working with Luke in the offices. I used to go out on my hour lunch break and just look at the sun for an hour. You'll be surprised at how much of a positive impact it has on keeping that circadian rhythm, keeping that routine, that sleep-wake cycle happy. That natural serotonin and melatonin secretion, to just be proactive. Like, I usually walk him about 6ish, but because it starts getting dark, I take him out earlier so I can get some exposure before the sun sets. And if possible, try and watch the sunset and watch the sunrise. Very good. So when I wake up, even though it's dark, when I wake up at 5:30, I open the blinds straight away. Maximum sunlight exposure during autumn and winter months. Okay, so for dinner this evening, so we treat ourselves a little bit. Got a little garlic bread ciabatta. Got some chorizo, some chicken, pasta. Keep it simple. Lloyd Grossman sauce. Bit of baby plum tomatoes. And we're good. Put a little bit of chorizo in there. Lovely. Just like 3 big meals a day and a little snack. Excuse me. Calories for this are 80 protein, 26 fat, 130 carb. So total intake at the moment is 2,500 calories. Usually I have a little snack before bed. A little peanut butter bagel or something. I like eating like this. It's like eating on holiday but at home. And we are done. 10 to 8, work is finished. When I go and have a shower, I leave my phone upstairs, so no phone. Just sit in front of the telly for an hour, which gets me to about 10 to 9, and I'm trying to be in bed and asleep by about 9:30, up at 5. And that's the routine. Got a bit of a sweet tooth this evening, so I'm having a 50, well, I guesstimate that to be about 50 grams of granola and half a bagel with peanut butter and jam. I'll put it into my fitness pal tomorrow morning and we can look how much food I've been consuming. But on average, today's a sort of average day of what I'm eating at the moment, so whatever my fitness pal churns out is probably there or thereabouts what I'm eating on a daily basis at the moment. Okay, so that is an example of what sort of foods, amounts, timings that I'm having on a daily basis at the moment. We've just obviously tracked it. So on average, I reckon I'm around about the 3,000 calorie intake, which with the small snack prior to going to bed put me on that amount. 209 protein, 315 carbs and 97 grams of fat. That intake may go up based on the intensity of the next training block. Me and Jade, as mentioned, have booked in to do High Rocks in Manny in January. So we've got a few more weeks before that 12-week block starts, and due to the sheer output and intensity required in those sessions, or within a week, obviously food intake will have to go up to meet performance and recovery demands, but it may only mean that I need to track for a week, understand what sort of foods need to be consumed, and then pull off tracking again. And I think that is a skill, like without blowing smoke up my nose, I think it takes time for a person to be in that psychological space when it comes down to dieting, and I thank bodybuilding and the years of bodybuilding for that. But I definitely prefer this style of dieting. 3 big meals and a snack. It's pretty much like the normal bog standard societal intake of food, isn't it? As opposed to having kind of 5, potentially 6 meals per day spread out back in the bodybuilding days. And I also enjoy this higher fat intake. I feel like the higher fat intake at the beginning portion of the day allows for more sustained energy, more sustained performance in the gym sessions. Whereas before, when I used to have to ram carbs down, I'd have this massive spike, this big drop off, and nutrient timing I had to be more proactive at nutrient timing, because more often than not what I do is have a big breakfast of carbs and I'd be like, oh God, I need to go to bed, have a nap, then go and train, and I'm a little bit all over the place. But you know, that was because I had a particular goal at that time, and we had to get to 110 kilos and in the off season to put on size for the shows. But now we are in a space whereby I don't necessarily, or I'm not necessarily too concerned about condition, even though I'm quite happy with the way I look at the moment. I'm a lot more comfortable with this style of dieting. So I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight into how you can potentially set up and structure your foods for this more functional style of training, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, feeling very good. Happy with recovery, happy with performance. As I said, if I feel like it may have dipped, like I get to Saturday and I feel a little, you know, again, being in bodybuilding for so long, I can gauge aesthetically, and I can also gauge when I'm feeling a little depleted and a little flat. I'll just step in and go, right, let's have a little bit more food, let's have a little bit of a refeed at the weekend as an example, and that kind of rectifies any potential performance or recovery issues. So yeah, there we go. I'll definitely be doing more content around the High Rocks. I think we'll do a series at least. Let's get a series out for the High Rocks. This will be my first one. I know it's going to be incredibly demanding, but I'm looking forward to it. It's another good test, and one of many next year. You know, I really want to do some big events next year, and we'll start off with High Rocks in January. Right, any questions at all? You know where to go. Hit them in the comment section below. Anything you got any queries about, tap away and I'll get back to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you very soon. Thank you, good night. Much love.